Erlangen is the headquarters of Siemens, which is a multinational company for healthcare. So our university has a nice tie-up with Siemens Healthineers, so we get the opportunity to have lots of working student jobs in here. And the biomedical engineering in India is not much developed, honestly speaking. It's a very new field. It started at the end of 1980s in globally. Pretty much like electronics, computer science, and medical all combined in one field. It has a very huge domain. And since COVID, this field has been expanding by leaps and bounds, especially because of medical industries like Pfizer, like Siemens AG. They're investing a lot of like billions and billions of euro for research in COVID. We Indians have good knowledge of everything. There's no doubt about it. But it's an overview of everything. But for Germans, it's like they don't know about everything. But if they know one thing, they know it very well.
जैसे अभी कोई प्लान कर रहा है कि मुझे बायोमेडिकल में जाना है, तो आप थोड़ा सिंपल वर्ड में, जैसे कोई भी स्टूडेंट बायोलॉजी के बैकग्राउंड से भी नहीं होगा उसको भी समझ में आएगा, राइट?
जब
उनके पेरेंट्स भी जो मतलब इनका एकेडमिक स्ट्रांग नहीं होगा, कोई भी सपोज पुअर फैमिली से आ रहा है, उनको भी समझ में आएगा एक्चुअली बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग होता है क्या है.
That's the beauty of biomedical engineering, which I think like everyone can come here and go into this field. Human body, हम लोगों का जो body है, it's very unpredictable. We don't know how to create it and we don't know how it operates. So most of the work that we do is based on prediction. Even आज जो COVID का rate जो कम है, वो अच्छा है. But कोई guarantee नहीं है कि 10 साल के बाद कोई और ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा. I mean, the technology these days, honestly speaking, it's evolving at a very fast rate, especially after the release of ChatGPT. ChatGPT, like OpenAI, is a very helpful tool, and our university is working. I mean, how to implement those in the medical field as well. And it's just not our university. There is Duke University in UK. There is Imperial College London. Everyone is working on this.
बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियर करने के बाद मास्टर्स, तो कहाँ पे आप कौन से जॉब रोल पे आप प्लेस हो सकते हैं? हेलो एवरीबॉडी, वेलकम टू इंडियन अलुमनाई. सो आज हमारे साथ हैं उर्मी मैम. तो वो अभी मास्टर्स कर रहे हैं जर्मनी में. तो आइए उनसे डिस्कस करते हैं उनके लाइफस्टाइल और उनके एकेडमिक लाइफस्टाइल के बारे में. हाय उर्मी, होप यू आर
Hello,
डूइंग वेल.
hi Yonesh. It's really nice to meet you. तो मेरे बारे में थोड़ा मैं बता रही हूँ. So the thing is, I'm studying masters in medical engineering at Friedrich-Alexander University in Erlangen, Germany. So I'm currently in my second year, and I'm absolutely in love with this course. The thing is, when I first came here, it was pretty difficult to adjust my life here in Germany because it was my first time I'm leaving my parents' house outside in a foreign country. Had no idea of how I should live alone and get along with other people for my daily life. It was a new experience, and also regarding the course, I would say it's very different than what I expected. So my specialization is medical image and data processing, and most of my fellow batchmates are from computer science background, whereas I did my bachelor's in electronics and communication engineering. So it was a huge transition from coming from electronics background to directly to medical background. The new thing that I faced was most of my course had a lot of things to do with coding and then artificial intelligence, machine learning, and I previously had no idea what to do with it. It was a new experience, but yes, I do enjoy it now. With the passage of time, I have picked up my coding skills. And the best thing about my university, which I would suggest, is it's very flexible. I have also met and talked to a lot of other students from other universities. The course structure in here is very different. So let's say there are 8 modules and you can take whichever subject you want and you can select your module as per as your interest. The best thing of this university is that in Erlangen is the headquarters of Siemens, which is a multinational company for healthcare. So our university has a nice tie-up with Siemens Healthineers, so we get the opportunity to have lots of working student jobs in here, as well as internship. And if the performance is really good, you can also get the opportunity to get hired directly by Siemens, especially Siemens Healthineers. So that's also one of the reasons why I decided to choose these universities over others. The interesting thing why I decided to go for medical engineering is because when I was a child, around the age of 10, I was diagnosed with brain tumor, and it was
Oh,
a pretty
sorry.
serious thing. No, no, that's okay. That's absolutely okay. That's why I'm sharing it with you. That's no problem. So, and I went through surgery, and for surgery, I went to Chennai, had the operations there, and it was a pretty successful operation. I had a follow-up for this surgery for like 3 years. I went back and forth for this so that everything's fine. It doesn't reoccur. Okay. So after that, like I spent quite a bit of my childhood with MRIs, and scans, CT, this other medical procedures. So it was pretty new for me because at the end, when I was absolutely fine, my father literally said that I was saved because of the technology and the doctors who has helped me to proceed with the surgery and then the follow-up treatment. So that had led a huge impact in my life. So when I was given the option to pursue engineering, I really
Hmm.
liked technology and science by itself. So I was like, fine, but in my current state, I did not even know that there exists a subject called biomedical engineering then.
Okay.
Especially the biomedical engineering in India is not much developed, honestly speaking. It's a very new field. It started at the end of 1980s in
Hmm.
globally, which first impacted in US, and then it's I mean, the whole subject from there to Europe, and now it's coming in India.
Okay.
When I talk to people from my department here in medical engineering at FAU, most of the
Hmm.
students that belong, that have come, international students that have come here and studying this degree, they are mostly from European university, or if they're from Indian university, they are having background in computer science or my stream like ECE.
Hmm.
They I've only met one girl who is from India and she has studied biomedical engineering, and that's from Mumbai. So the number of universities in India itself studying biomedical engineering with a huge prospect on the later on. So there is not much. So I studied ECE. I really like my course.
Hmm.
It was new and I enjoy electronics devices. When I study about them, I'm really happy with it. But I always wanted to pursue a master's. When I entered my bachelor's, I knew like after 4 years, I got placements, I got many jobs, but I was like, no, I will pursue a master's. Initially, I wanted to do a master's in India itself. So I prepared myself for GATE. And after my second attempt, it was on 2020, when
Hmm.
2021, when I got the result. I was not very much satisfied with it because the course offered there was very limited. And at the same time, one of my friend, ideal to say my best friend, was
Hmm.
applied to this university at FAU for
Hmm.
artificial intelligence. And I was very much impressed because I never knew she was too ambitious to go for a master's degree. It
Hmm.
was an interesting turn of events. So I had a conversation with her, and then she enlightened me that there's this course called Biomedical Engineering, or in other universities, it's called Biomedical Engineering, which is pretty much like electronics, computer science, and medical all combined in one field. And it has a very huge domain. And since COVID, this field has been expanding by leaps and bounds,
Hmm.
especially because of medical industries like Pfizer, like Siemens AG. They're investing a lot of like billions and billions of euro for research in COVID.
Okay.
And so I did a market research on what is the possibility of this course in the like in the coming 10 years.
Hmm.
Since I had background in electronics, and when I was in India, when I was preparing for my masters, and I was preparing for GATE, I had a work experience in a startup for 1 year as
Hmm.
an application
Great.
engineer. So during that time, I thought, the life here is not the life that I want. So I really want to pursue a master's. So if I'm not getting the stream that I like here in India, let's try outside. And I made an application on 2021 in July or June, in June for this university and many other universities actually. But this university was the first that replied to me, and I was like, yes, I got the offer letter, so let's go with this. Later, that I came to know that I also qualified for master's program in India, in Jadavpur University, if you know of it. So for medical engineering as well, and for other streams as well. But then I decided Germany provides a lot of more opportunities compared to India. I mean, it's sad, but it's true.
How you discovered that things?
What?
You have to go to Germany for your masters. How?
Yes. How the thing is, I wanted to like my because my friend came here, so she told me that Germany is a huge field of opportunities. There are lots of
Mm-hmm.
jobs there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very cheap. The main thing about Germany, why I chose Germany over other, is it's very affordable, especially for students like from
Like
mediocre
zero tuition
families.
fee, public universities. That is the
Yeah,
main thing.
yes,
Yeah.
mainly only public universities because they don't take a tuition fee. But now
Mm-hmm.
these days it's changing. That's also one thing.
Okay,
And
okay.
I also checked US because for biomedical engineering, I wanted to go for this medical, anything related to medical field because I had a soft spot for it. So
Mm-hmm.
I checked US as well, but the tuition fee and overall the semester fees is it's around $50,000 per semester, which is very expensive for me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had this conversation with the student coordinator for medical engineering at our university, she like we just required the amount of money for our
Mm-hmm.
cost of living. There is no tuition fee, nothing. There is a very bare minimum semester fee, which was really nice for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I decided to come to Germany instead of other countries.
Like in 2022,
Hmm?
2021 or 2022, when you came
2021.
to Germany? 2021. Like
Yes.
that is COVID timing, right?
Yes, I came during the time of Omicron. So
Mm-hmm.
originally my semester started from 2021 October, but I could not come due to there was this issue with my visa as well as with I had to get all the documents ready, like the transcripts and all.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not able to due to Omicron. So I arrived at November 15, 2021. And that semester was not counted for us because it was like a COVID semester. So officially, I started my degree from summer 2022.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how many university did you apply? Like
Two,
for only one? Yeah, two.
no, for two. So here and Stuttgart University for electrical engineering.
Okay, then because you have done your bachelor's at electronics, right?
Right.
And then you started biomedical. Don't you think this is a little bit difficult for you to cope up with this
Yes,
course?
it is. The thing is, that's a good thing about my university, which I would suggest is they give you a lot of time to, you
Mm-hmm.
know, shape your module as you want. So the moment I started, like when I enrolled for this university, I looked into the what are the subjects that they offer. Okay, so I was in India and I had no experience. What can I expect from the education level of Germany? So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
fine, I will take all the electronic subject, all the subjects that I know from my bachelor's. But when I first landed in here and started studying, the education level here is quite a bit high.
Mm-hmm.
Here, the people they have I mean, not everyone goes for engineering, but those people who do, they're very much profound in knowledge in their own field. They have very
Right.
clear concepts. So that's why the moment you, let's say, you want to go for a particular subject, you will see along with you there are many students including Germans who has very like profound idea of what how to proceed with this subject, whereas for us we I mean it's not a bad claim to say that we Indians have good knowledge of everything, there is no doubt about it, but it's an
Mm-hmm.
overview of everything. But for Germans it's like they don't know about everything, but if they know one thing they know it very well.
Yeah, yeah, precisely. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's very difficult to compete with that level of knowledge.
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult. Okay, so okay, थोड़ा सा हम उसको एक डिफरेंट वे में
Yeah.
पुट करते हैं. Okay, let's think like suppose because whatever you are doing now,
Hmm.
that was not pre-planned, right? Because आप पहले से जब 12th पास आउट किए तब पहले से आप सोचा नहीं थे कि मुझे बायोमेडिकल में जाना है,
Nee,
right?
nee, that was not pre-planned.
Yeah. If it was pre-planned, maybe you choose like something else, like a bachelor's in biomedical engineering, something
Hmm.
kind of that. And after that, if you are whatever you are doing now, if your
That would have made
bachelor
things
background
easier.
was in biomedical engineering, then it's pretty easy for you to to
Yes,
challenge these things.
it's
Yeah.
much more easier, but
Hmm.
still, I know quite a lot of my friends who are doing. I mean, some of my friends who are doing who have done bachelor's in biomedical here and then studying
Hmm.
medical here. It's still difficult because here the medical
Okay.
science,
Okay.
medical engineering is based on computer science. So if in bachelor's if you had done computer science, that would have made
then
it
it's easy
easier
for
instead
you.
of medical.
Okay. That is the right thing.
Yes.
Okay, तो
So
आप
medical engineering here has three streams.
हम्म
One is medical, like the one that I'm studying, data processing, medical image and data processing. That
हम्म
is mostly concentrated on how we collect the data from like MRI scans and CT scans, and then we analyze it. So using Python, MATLAB, whatever programming language that you know. And then it's like fine tuning those data using natural language processing and stuff like that. So it's not for everyone, but if you are from the background of computer science, that makes things easier for you. And then there is another specialization called HMDA. So it's like health data management analysis. So that
हम्म
helps people go for managerial role in the medical science domain. So it's
Okay,
more concentrated
that
on
will
the
help me.
managerial role, and there is a internship, compulsory internship. I mean, it was there when I came in, but I don't know if it's there now. So there's that facilities, and then there is another stream called prosthetics, like electronics and prosthetics one. I really wanted to go that way because it's
हम्म
closely associated with my bachelor's degree in electronics. But the problem was that that course, even now, is still taught only in German, and I'm not good in German, so I
Yeah,
couldn't opt for it.
okay. So now you're in your final year, right? It's
Yes, I'm
maybe
in my final
in
year.
your
Yes.
last sem. Okay. So suppose अभी आप सोच लीजिए कि कुछ स्टूडेंट अभी 12th कर रहा है, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And now in every school, maybe I not every school, but maximum top level schools, they are hiring the student counselor, the career counselor,
Career counselor. Yes.
who will help them to choose their career, what
Right.
needs to do, right? So जैसे अभी कोई प्लान कर रहा है कि मुझे बायोमेडिकल में जाना है, तो आप
Mm-hmm.
थोड़ा सिंपल वर्ड में, जैसे
Mm-hmm.
कोई भी स्टूडेंट बायोलॉजी के बैकग्राउंड से भी नहीं होगा, उसको भी समझ में आएगा, राइट?
Sure.
उनके पेरेंट्स भी जो मतलब कि इनका एकेडमिक स्ट्रांग नहीं होगा, कोई भी सपोज पुअर फैमिली से भी आ रहा है, उनको भी समझ में आएगा एक्चुअली बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग होता क्या है,
अच्छा, ठीक।
सिंपल विथ रियल लाइफ एप्लीकेशन, इट्स वेरी इजी, ओके? डोंट मेक
Okay,
इट कॉम्प्लेक्स,
कोई
ओके?
problem नहीं. So agar like anyone wants to go into biomedical engineering, so the thing is, especially with biomedical engineering in India, people don't understand what that is. It's a very common scenario when I first opted for biomedical engineering. Most of my friends from bachelor's days said why she's going to be a doctor when she studied electronics engineering. It's very
yeah
confusing. The
yeah
thing is, biomedical engineering is the engineering of, like for me, is the engineering of devices like MRI, CT scans, all those machine that helps you to see that you are fit, to see that
Mhm.
everything is working properly in your body. The designing of this machine is exactly what biomedical engineering is. So in biomedical engineering, either you take the medical data, so the data is provided by the doctors. You don't do anything. As an engineer, you don't do anything. What you do, you take those data and then you do image processing on that, or you do data analysis on that. And from that, I mean, if you're a computer science engineer, you can work on that. If you're an electronics engineer, you can work on that. It doesn't have to be that you are from medical background. And if, let's say, a doctor, I mean, someone who has taken biology in their 12th, and then he
Mhm.
or she wants to pursue biomedical engineering, you can still do it. Especially in the University of Heidelberg, they offer courses like, it's called biomedical engineering. I mean, there you can choose to be a radiographer itself, or you can be an ultrasound engineer. So it's engineering itself, but you deal with the machines. It has nothing to do with the patient. Now, if you want, you can definitely work for the patients as well, but it
Mhm.
depends entirely on the person and his or her field of interest.
ओके, इट्स गुड। तो एक्चुअली उसमें मुझे थोड़ा सा चीज याद आ रहा है, क्योंकि मैंने एक इंटरव्यू किया था, हमारा एक पॉडकास्ट हुआ था, मेरा शायद पहला सेकंड पॉडकास्ट होगा, जो
अच्छा।
कि वो सेम थिंग उनका था। वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स कर रहे थे पॉलिटेक्निक यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ टूरिन, इटली में। उसके बाद वो स्टार्ट किए न्यूरो बायोलॉजी। ओके,
बहुत
तो
अच्छा स्ट्रीम
लाइक
है।
वो अभी है निमांस में, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेंटल हेल्थ एंड न्यूरो साइंस,
हम्म।
वहां पे अभी साइंटिस्ट है।
हाँ।
सो लाइक उनके साथ भी मेरा पॉडकास्ट हुआ था, तो वो भी एक बारे में मुझे बोल रहे थे कि हाउ इट विल हेल्प, लाइक दे आर वर्किंग ऑन अ प्रोजेक्ट which will help to predict the like image processing. It's like predict
So
means आप ऐसे बोल सकते हैं सपोज उनके पास बहुत सारे डाटा है, राइट?
हाँ
मतलब
हाँ
ये सारा छोटा सा फेज होने के बाद ये हो सकता है, तो अभी इस फेज में है तो ये शायद इस तरफ जा सकता है, समथिंग कुछ वो काम
हम्म।
कर रहे हैं। मैं तो उतना
तो
टेक्निकलिटी में शायद
तो
आप
ये
रिलेट कर पा रहे
तो ये सारे जो वो बोल रहे थे, ये सारे
हैं।
काम, ये एक कंप्यूटर साइंस, आई मीन कंप्यूटर साइंस बैकग्राउंड के स्टूडेंट का ही काम है। ठीक है। सो
ओके ओके।
दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग, व्हिच आई थिंक लाइक एवरीवन कैन कम हियर एंड गो इनटू दिस फील्ड। बट द थिंग इज, इफ यू वांट टू गो इनटू दिस फील्ड, आपको कंप्यूटर साइंस के कोडिंग जानना बहुत जरूरी है। उसके अलावा,
राइट।
क्योंकि द थिंग इज, ह्यूमन बॉडी, हम लोगों का जो बॉडी है, इट्स वेरी अनप्रिडिक्टेबल। वी डोंट नो हाउ टू क्रिएट इट एंड वी डोंट नो हाउ इट ऑपरेट्स। तो मोस्ट ऑफ द वर्क दैट वी डू, इट्स बेस्ड ऑन प्रेडिक्शन। कि हम लोग 10 साल का, दस साल के पहले जो डेटा था, तो वो सारे ट्रेन करके देन अल्टीमेटली वी मेक एन एस्टिमेशन कि 5 साल के बाद क्या हो सकता है। इवन आज
राइट।
जो कोविड का रेट जो कम है, वो अच्छा है। बट कोई गारंटी नहीं है कि 10 साल के बाद कोई और लाइक ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा। हो सकता है, राइट? सो इट्स
या
ऑलवेज
मैं भी होता,
गुड।
या
Yeah, it's always good to have precautions. So that's why
या।
even, I mean, the technology these days, honestly speaking, it's evolving at a very fast rate, especially after the release of ChatGPT. ChatGPT, like OpenAI, is a very helpful tool, and our university is working, I mean, how to implement those in the medical field as well. And it's just not our university. There is Duke University in UK. There is Imperial College London. Everyone is working on this.
ओके।
So, I mean, personally, I think if you want to go for biomedical engineering, my university, I mean, FAU ranks pretty high. I think it's ranked 15 worldwide on biomedical engineering. And the research work here is really state of the art. So it's helpful. And currently we are working like on so in our degree program, you have to do 2 research projects. So something you do with you can do it with the tie-up with the company, any company that you want, or something you can do it tie-up with the university hospital. So currently I'm working on a project tie-up with the university hospital. And the project is mostly about how you, I mean, so our brain uses oxygen to perform the daily activities, right? So you can get all this information using an MRI scan. But in case of a child, let's say a prenatal child, like a very young child, let's say he or she is around 3 months or 4 months. So in order to do their MRI, in general, when you try to assume what is the amount of blood that is flowing in our brain, we have to inject a contrast agent so that we can observe like how it is revolving in the brain and how much oxygen is going where, all that thing. But for kids, like for young babies, you cannot inject that because it's harmful for their body. So now the university is working what we can do instead of injecting, and if there is any way we can do that just by the MRI, by fMRI to be
Okay.
exact.
Okay.
So these things are pretty
So
cutting edge.
what I understood, that if you are doing 12th, after
Mm-hmm.
that, if you are studying computer science specifically, BTech in computer science, if
Easier.
there is no such course, bachelor's in biomedical engineering, but if you are planning to do career in specifically biomedical engineering, also you can opt computer science, right? Um,
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
computer science it is the right gateway to enter master's in biomedical engineering, right?
Yep.
It will help the students
It's not just
to.
right. I would also say even if let's say physician, a doctor can also get into biomedical engineering. But for the
Mhm,
doctor, they will have to learn the engineering part. For an
mhm.
engineer, they will have to learn the medical part. You have to learn everything.
Okay, so means you have to collab the things,
You
and
have to collab. That's the point. You
if you
have
are
to collab.
planning, then you can do one thing. Maybe you can if you are doing engineering, then hang out with doctors.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the best thing you can do.
it will help you. Otherwise, if you are a doctor, then hang out with engineers.
Engineers. Yep.
That is
I
the
agree
things
with
because
that.
without any kind of machines or technology, doctor is restricted to so many things. Because
Yes.
nowadays, I can say biomedical engineering is the backbone of the like how we can say health innovation, right? Because without
Absolutely,
biomedical
absolutely.
engineering, there's nothing
Yes.
to.
And you know that in the world, so the world
Mhm.
is driven by data, right?
Yeah.
So more than 60% of the world data is medical data.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
if you, I'm not sure 100% about the fact, you
Mhm.
can check it on Google, but it's pretty much that the medical data is the major section of the data in this whole world. Like personal, there are various kinds of data, but medical data is the major contribution in the world of data. And to process such data, like every day we are generating new data every day.
What are the career opportunity in yeah, your sector in Germany specifically? हम बात करेंगे तो बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग में तो
हम्म,
क्या क्या ऑप्शंस
हम्म।
है? आप बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियर करने के बाद मास्टर्स तो कहाँ पे आप कौन से जॉब रोल पे आप प्लेस हो सकते हैं?
तो मोस्टली जॉब रोल स्पेसिफिक अगर जाए तो इमेज प्रोसेसिंग इंजीनियर, there's this
हम्म
one job. Other job roles that you can highlight is you can go for a biomedical engineer itself, but
हम्म
biomedical engineer is a job role that requires a lot of skills like quality assurance. Then you have to know the medical device regulations of EU and USA,
हम्म
FDA, stuff like that. And then you have to know technical skills and then managerial skills as well, like project management and all. Then you can also go for data analysis, like data analyst job role, depending on what interests you.
हम्म
And if you are from medical background, you can go for clinical analyst or clinical, let's say ultrasound specialist, or you can, or if you go for from just basic bachelor's degree. Let's say you came here, you are doing a full time in studies, and then due to financial issues, you want to switch your work. So you make your degree part time and find a job for full time. So if you're in bachelor's and you are finding a job in full time, then I would suggest the good thing is go for a field service engineer. They require a bachelor's degree, but each and every one of these job roles that I stated right now, they require you some sort of German skills.
Okay, that means okay. Some of the students may think like after doing biomedical engineering, maybe they will create some machine, like they will innovate some machines which will help. Is there any career
No,
be there or not? There is no
no. I mean,
opportunity for
you
that.
don't create machine. Machine is created by the mechanical engineers, by the civil engineers,
Okay.
like that. So first, to create a machine, you need a blueprint. So the
Mm-hmm.
blueprint is produced by a mechanical engineer using CAD and stuff like that. Then you hire scientists like a physicist, and then there is people who's responsible for the structures. There is electronics engineer. There are electrical engineers. So they will make the grid. The physicist will see for MRI, for CT, for most of the medical images apart from X-ray. You need a physicist to work with it. So
That means
as a biomedical,
biomedical engineers specifically demonstrate the machine.
they demonstrate the machine, or I mean, you can work in the software end. If
Mm-hmm.
you, I mean, I know a lot of, I mean, in Siemens itself, they require software development engineers. They require UX design engineers. So for those, you can go for it. You can also be needed for hardware. If you want to work in the domain of hardware, you can work there. Let's say for an MRI machine, for a CT machine, you require some circuits, right? There needs to be
Mm-hmm.
circuits. So for that, you can implement. For hardware prototyping, you are needed. You can go for like the main, like how the whole circuit works along with the software. That's an interface. So as a biomedical, the making of a whole machine is a joint effort from various different disciplines. So just a biomedical engineer cannot do anything. But as a
Okay.
biomedical engineer, there are various fields opening for you. It's up to you if you want to go for the software, you can go for the hardware, you can go for the managerial role as well.
Okay. So it will be a little bit straightforward question. Though, what is your next 5 years plan? Okay,
For me,
so you
for the
want to
next
back
5 years,
India or you want
yes,
to
that's a
live
good
in India?
question. Yes. For me right now, I will finish my graduation I want to finish my graduation by April 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, I will, because what I personally believe is my skill set is not up to the market ready. Because to get a job in Germany right now, it's very difficult because the
Mm-hmm.
recession is hitting, and there are quite a lot of medical companies which is from US where the recession already took a hit in 2021. Not 2020, 2022. So it's very hard to get a job these days. And since there are so many international students, why would a company pay someone for full time when they can hire part-time employees giving half of the salaries, right? So
Yeah.
that's also a huge issue happening over Germany as well. So you have to have your skills that sets you apart from other candidates, as well as have personal connections. Networking here is very important. So you should go out of your comfort zone and interact with people. For me, I need to develop my skills, and networking, I'm really not a pro at networking. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to work on those skills as well. And it is very important throughout your course curriculum, you align your subject of interest, like all the subjects that you have in these 8 modules, as well as your research project and your thesis in the same line that you want to work in. Otherwise, if it's very different, it's very chaotic for you to get, because you see, in here, no one wants you to be multi, I mean, you
Task.
have multiple, yes, no one works to you do multitasking. Indians
Mm-hmm.
are very good at multitasking, that's for sure. But they want you, let's say you have an experience in image processing, you do a project in image segmentation or image processing, you do a thesis that's concentrated on image processing, and you work as an image processing engineer in the long run. They would like
Mm-hmm.
your career like graph like that, like
Mm-hmm.
profound knowledge in your own domain. That's what they want. So for me right now, I want my specialized, like my subject of interest is data analysis, medical data analysis. So I have made my course like that. My course is pretty much fluctuated between, because I was also interested in neuroscience, but now that I have had enough knowledge in that domain, I've decided that that is not my field, because it's a research oriented field. If you want to go for PhD, that's a very good field to work with. But currently, I'm not pursuing PhD, so I am willing to go for a corporate job after my master's.
So, what are the opportunity in the biomedical sector in India now?
Not much, very
Not
limited.
much. Okay. So, do you have any suggestion or any message like who are planning to career in biomedical engineering or planning to do masters in biomedical engineering, specifically in Germany?
Mhm.
The upcoming students. So, do you have any message or any suggestion for them?
Yes, first, I would suggest that no matter what background you're from, you have to be very open-minded. You have to accept that as an engineer, you cannot exist alone. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
collaborate with doctors, mechanical engineers, physicists, chemists, everyone to produce one medical device. It requires efforts from everyone. Okay. So first of all, as if you're studying bachelor's, or even if you are not in bachelor's, get your coding skills right, because it's 2024. The world
Mm-hmm.
doesn't exist without the help of a computer. You might be from electrical background, but see, all this electrical equipment you design, those are all operated. Let's say a mobile phone, it's an electrical device, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
electronics. It is operated on electrical circuits, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, the software, without the software, it doesn't exist. So you need the
Yeah.
help of a software. So I would suggest at least learn one programming language. I would say Python is the best way to go. But if you want to
Mm-hmm.
go for the research field in long run, go for MATLAB.
Mm-hmm.
It's really helpful. And yeah, I mean, just because you're an engineer, you also need to work with medical people. So if you want to pursue a career in biomedical engineering, get your knowledge of human anatomy right. It's very difficult otherwise.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. It was nice meeting to you and talking to you.
Yeah, yeah. Same to you. Same to you.
So I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Okay,
Okay,
thank
then
you.
bye bye. It
Bye
was
bye. Have
really
a great
nice
day.
meeting you. Bye bye.
Yeah. Ciao.